It's Mike Gundy, who I didn't know was a Nobel Prize winning economist who knew all about how economics works because, well, he doesn't actually have those credentials. He's a football coach. Coach football. Let medical professionals give you advice on what to do in a medical crisis. Goodness me. Mike Gundy wants to invite kids back onto campus, put them in harm's way so that we can play football and run money through the economy. Look, I'm not even going to couch this in economics. I'm just going to say at best, what Mike Gundy did yesterday was irresponsible. He didn't think about the kids, how they have to travel, how they have to go from place to place, how many of them aren't going to be in the best circumstances if they contract this virus. And how even if you wanted to begin testing people on May 1st, figure 100 kids on a football team, figure 100 coaches and support staff members. You got to test each and every one of them. And then if they all are okay, you have to figure out a way to quarantine each and every one of them for the foreseeable future. Rather than just say, hey, we're going to do what our medical professionals and public health officials ask us to do. That means I don't really have any answers right now, guys, which wouldn't make him any different than the commissioner of the NBA, the commissioner of the NFL, the commissioner of Major League Baseball, commissioner of the Ultimate Fighting Championship, for which, well, that's another topic altogether that we're going to talk with Yahoo Sports combat columnist Kevin Iole about later in the show, around about 10:05. But what we do know is the NCAA said we're extending the dead period through May 31st. We do know the Big 12 said, hey, we're suspending activity until May 31st. We have government officials, public health officials telling us all, yo, stay at your house. Please don't do anything you don't have to do. We're hurting like you're hurting, but the loss of life is something we cannot abide, and we will not put money over the loss of life. Cool. Mike Gundy, we ride May 1st. Come on, man. I don't know why he felt he needed to say that. I don't know why he felt like he was the only person with answers in a world full of people smarter than he is. I don't know why you just can't send hope another direction. We all hope for football. Nobody doesn't want football to happen. But the idea that you would bring in hundreds of people so that you could run them through practice in May is unconscionable. Why did he feel the need to do these things and to address them in such a manner? But this is also the man who claimed that kids transferring were the product of liberal snowflakes. It's also a man who said, come after me, I'm 40. Well, I'm coming after you, man. Come on now. What are you doing? Why did you feel the need to do it this way? You know, even if you were wanting to get nuanced about it and say, yeah, he didn't say play football on May 1st. He said get started testing on May 1st. We don't even have enough tests. In the state of Oklahoma, we have yet to pass 10,000 tests in a state with over 4 million citizens. Where do you think you're going to get tests? And if you get preferential treatment for your football team, that's not going to be a good look either. You saw how that worked for the NBA. You saw how that worked for the Utah Jazz. You saw how that worked for the Oklahoma City Thunder. It's not a good look. People already believe that football players get preferential treatment. And now you want to solidify that with your unpaid labor force. All right? You just made an argument for paying players, is what you just did. Because if you're going to put them into harm's way and you're going to credit them with jumpstarting the economy, shouldn't they get a little bit of that coin? A little bit of that paper? I think they should. Now, way to make a tough problem even tougher. It's a cavalier attitude. by a man who has not yet been affected. I have been affected. And I don't feel I need to casually trot out the names of those that are close to me, except to say that my father is still working in the medical field and goes to St. Francis every day to try to do his job. And I pray, like many of you pray, that he doesn't bring it home, that my mom is okay. And I think about all the rest of folks that have actually lost their family members, their parents. Someone, as Mayberry just pointed out, lost a 22-year-old son. He's 10 years younger than I am, 10 years younger than Mayberry is. We are not invincible. As a matter of fact, that's the idea of health insurance, right? Is that none of us are invincible. It was wrong to say, it was wrong to suggest, and it was so wrong that the university, Oklahoma State University, needed to send out a response to Mike Gundy's comments. No matter how you slice it up, like there's being critical and there's being wrong, and Mike Gundy's just wrong. I spend a lot of time thinking about this stuff, man. I spend probably too much time thinking about this stuff, but I got to convince you to care. I got to convince you to care about somebody you'll never know, never meet, never come to understand value of, and believe that person is worthwhile and is worth your sacrifice. Otherwise, what are we actually doing? Take care of each other, man. That's all. You claim to love the kids. Don't put the kids in harm's way, Mike. You claim to love the kids. Think about their parents. Think about their circumstances. They didn't make $5 million last year. Some of them are just trying to make ends meet and sacrificed everything possible so that their kids could go play football for you.